right. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. What y'all think? I got a question. Do y'all think that Stella actually did what has been implied? Because y'all know I thought she did it too. I thought she had Elizabeth, signed documents. But she acted too, patient. I said that. She acted too patient. Not patient. What's the word I'm looking for? She acting unbothered. Like she ain't got nothing to hide. And even when they mentioned Martin's name, she looked shocked. She looked surprised. Do y'all think that's a part of the act? Or what? Let me know. But then when they showed the aftermath, how Portia was questioning the agents or whatever, asking them what they doing there because, she spoke to the people at the hospital and they didn't say anything about, anything suspicious or an investigation or anything like that. And he was like, it came from somebody higher up or whatever. And Curtis and them was looking. And I was like, are they putting two and two together? Are they realizing that Drew's the one that targeted them? Because even Martin asked the question or whatever. And I was like, did he figure it out too? I said Martin should have information up on Drew. I don't know if he could use it because he is a lawyer or whatever, but still. But yeah, what did y'all think of today's episode? Let me know down below. So we're going to start with, I don't know why I always misplace the doggone paper, but I think this is it. This ain't it because Trina wasn't on today. Let me see. I think the first people they showed was Portia and Curtis, and they was laid in bed together. Yeah, I think this is it right here. Yeah, Curtis and Portia was laid up. And they was just talking about moving forward and stuff like that. Next thing you know, the phone rang. I said, it's Jordan. She said she tried to call Curtis, but his phone was off or whatever. And she wanted to speak. Might as well get that out the way. She wanted to speak to Curtis or whatever. She ends up warning him and telling him that Stella's being questioned by some agents about fraud and stuff like that. And he was like, he on his way. And Portia was like, I'm coming with you. I said, I bet you is. I bet you are. What else happened? Let's see. Stella ends up telling the agents or whoever they is that, she hasn't made any complaints, so she don't understand what's going on. So that's when they was like, it's about her specifically and stuff like that. So she was like, okay, she don't need no lawyer because they was offering, I think, was it Jordan? I think Jordan was telling her she need a lawyer before she speak to them or whatever, and she was like, she don't need a lawyer. That's why I was like, okay, did she actually do it? Like, they did make it seem like she had done it, but the way she acted, maybe she didn't. I'm hoping, actually, that she didn't do it, because Drew needs to be dealt with. Drew needs to be dealt with. But yeah, I'm really hoping that she didn't do it, y'all. But we'll see. Brooklyn ends up talking to Flora. I had to remember her name, y'all. She was talking to Flora about the whole Lois situation. And she ends up telling her how she talked to her mama. And she was blaming Lois' mama and saying it seemed like it was mainly her idea. Brooklyn said something about, she blames her mama more so because, at least her grandmama is sticking to what she said or whatever. Lois had doubts and she still chose to do what she did and keep secrets. And my thing about that is it was too many opportunities for her to tell the truth. It was way too many opportunities for her to tell the truth, and she chose not to. So it's her own fault. It's definitely her own fault. I wonder if I titled this the right name, because sometimes when I go back to check, it be a different name up there. But yeah, let me see. What else? Brooklyn ends up telling Flora how there's not going to be a reunion between her and her mama. Macy ends up meeting with Martin, and she wanted to go against the partners, and she wants to know if they can kick her out the group. Out the group. Out the group. What I'm thinking about. I don't know what I was thinking about. Kick her out the company. I think he said no, they couldn't do that or whatever, but he was advising her not to do it, as well as not tell them that she's thinking about it. And I was like, okay, Silva was kind of excited to watch Home and Heart because he knew Maxie was going to be on there and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, did he do something to that product? Is that what made her fall out? Or what? I'm confused. And she was just talking about how she wanted to go to the police still. She wanted to set up a meeting with the DA or whatever in order to turn over information that she had. Next thing you know, she go put that cream on her face. And as soon as she did it, I was like, did he put it in just that one? Or did he put it in all of them? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, then they said they was just introducing the product. I don't know, y'all. But yeah, let's see. They showed Lucy with Sidwell, and she was cozying up to him and stuff like that. Says he could see her anytime. I said, she could choose him, can't she? Can't she? I was like, can she pick him or can't she pick him? I don't know. But yeah, she just over here just talking to him and flirting and stuff like that. And I've been waiting on this. But yeah, he kissed her, but he don't seem like he into her to me. He seemed like he using her for what she can offer, which is information as well as the whole deception thing. He gonna tell his son, he gonna tell Marco the reason why he cares so much about deception is because it's Lucy's company. I said, you full of crap. You full of crap and you know it. You know doggone well you doing something. You moving product, you moving money, you doing something. I think that he got to Sonny's accountant or something. Some type of way he involved. Because they were speaking on how it never happened before or whatever. So I'm assuming that he did something. But what else? Let's see. Um, Drew wants Sonny to agree to his terms. He said, what did he say he wanted? I think I wrote it down. He wants Sonny to basically get Michael to, or convince Michael to move the visitation hearing up so that Willow can see her kids. He wants him to sell the piers or whatever. And he also wants him to leave town. Did he say the amount of time he want him to go? I think he wanted him to go for good. And I said, well, you got to give it to him. At least he know how to tell somebody the right thing to do versus Sonny over here talking about the doggone drop the whole political campaign mess and stay out his way. I said, well, at least he got his turns together. But yeah, let me see what else. Excuse me. What they say? Brit tells Pascal, whatever that dude name is, to come with her or whatever, and she was just talking about, I think, the lab or something like that. Josh ends up saving Vaughn, and they showed her starting to think. It said the message has been held for review. Hold on. They started to show her think about shooting Cyrus. Even when she was in the shower, they showed it. Drew is an idiot. This is all going to backfire on him. It definitely is. I said, he making so many enemies. It's definitely going to be a whodunit at this point. It's definitely going to be a whodunit at this point. But what else? Let's see. Britt then let the Pascal dude know that, you know, she knew Jason. But the way they kept looking at each other, you would put two and two together. The way they kept looking at each other, you would put two and two together. I said, y'all gonna blow the doggone cover. But yeah, what else? I already said Josh saves Vaughn, and she started thinking about shooting Cyrus. Portia should have, they didn't show anything like this, but I had wrote it down. I think when they was laying in bed, this what made me think about it. Or either when Drew was talking to Sonny. But I was like, okay, Portia should have got proof that Drew was blackmailing her to change Michael test results, because eventually she probably gonna get caught. She probably gonna get caught. He probably gonna leak the information or something like that, and she gonna have to go to jail or face charges or something like that. So I was like, she might as well take him down with her. Excuse me. I said she might as well just take him down with her at this point. What else? Flora tells Brooklyn about her talk with Lois and, you know, her thoughts on the whole situation. They had a nice little conversation. I don't know if Brooklyn gonna forgive Lois anytime soon, but we shall see. Martin ends up telling Maxie to be sure before she ends up taking that meeting with 88 Turner. Sidwell ends up kissing Lucy. Marco asks Sidwell, you know, why deception is so special, because he has several businesses. And that's why I was saying he either doing something to that doggone Zincite or something he doing, in my opinion. That's what I think. I think he up to something. I think he doing something through deception. That's why he tried so hard to get rid of Sonny, and he actually succeeded. Because they were saying how the dude that usually clean the money, or his accountant or somebody, how they never made that mistake before. So I'm assuming Sidwell got to them. I could be wrong, but we'll see. What else? Let's see. Drew wants Sonny to position. I already said that about how you want him to position for a visitation for Willow and sell his peers as well as leave town. Jordan calls Portia and tells Curtis about Stella. Sonny tells Drew he not gonna get Willow back regardless. He was like, even if I do what you say or whatever, you still not gonna get her back. Basically, he trying to look like a hero in her eyes. And then he was like, he keeps trying to make it seem like, no, it's not about that. I just want her to have her kids back. But then on today's episode, when he was talking to Sidwell, he was like, everybody just keep blaming me for being the reason why she lost her kids or whatever. So he need to be the one to get the kids back. He think that's gonna score him some points. And he might be right. I don't know yet. I feel like he might be right, but we'll see. What else? Vaughn ends up telling Josh they need to leave because their cover has been blown and stuff like that. She studied halting and stopping and stuff like that. She want to talk to Britt. She thinks she could convince Britt to, you know, tell her she working with Dalton and all this other stuff. And I was like, girl, you better get the gone. You better get the gone. You better go, no, girl. Because they showed this morning, when they dropped the promo, that Pascal dude or whoever it is, he's supposed to have a weapon on Jocelyn. He's supposed to have a weapon on her. They also showed, I think they actually played her voice saying something about we need to get Britt or something like that. Then they show her, she's like peeping around the corner. And Jason is sitting on the couch. Hey, how you doing today? Jason is sitting on the couch and he looks over there. Now, do he see her? I don't know. But what else? What else did they show this morning? Well, I dropped a video on it regardless, y'all. What else? Let me see. Drew told Sonny everything he wanted him to do or whatever. He was like, he's not saying he gonna do it. And he kept on talking about sending his son to jail and stuff like that because he did. I said, even if you was to do what he wanted, What's stopping him from still sending Michael to jail? Because when he was talking to Sylvia, it still made it seem, the way he talked, it still made it seem like his focus is to send Michael to jail regardless. Regardless. But they do say that Sonny and Michael's supposed to get the upper hand, so we shall see. And then, when I told y'all this morning about Anna supposed to be teaming up with somebody, I'm assuming it's 88 Turner. Based on the promo for tomorrow's episode, I agree Willow won't be getting her kids back after she started Daisy and called her such a leave poor child. Exactly. Hold on, wait. I think I missed that part. Willow is not going to get her kids back considering she gets Ashley and starts Daisy. I was about to say Stacy. She's not getting her kids, and she was fine with Drew Blakeman pushing to mess with Michael Bluer. Right. I'm ready to see what she do next. That's what I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see, because they've been hitting at the fact that she been losing it and stuff like that. I want to see how much she lose it. How much she lose it. How much, yeah, I did say that right. How much she lose it. I want to see what else she gonna do. What else? Let me see. Drew ends up leaving. And that's when Sonny tells Turner that she got the chance to meet the real Drew or whatever. And she was shocked. And she was like, is this what? I said, don't fall for it, girl. He's still a criminal regardless of the fact that he being blackmailed. She told me something. Is this what it was like for you? I assume, whatever she said, she assumed or whatever, that people come to you and just blackmail you, all this stuff. I said, she don't fail, Sonny. You gotta. It won't be long now, Sonny. You gotta. But yeah, and he ends up telling her, you can't do anything because your career will be ruined because they'll know you was there having dinner and stuff like that. And she was like, you're right, I can't do anything, but neither can you. And she was trying to convince him not to go after Drew or anything like that. Drew's too cocky, that's going to be his downfall, right? And he think he untouchable too. He run around messing with everybody and they mama and daddy. He messing with everybody. I said, yeah, somebody gonna get you, buddy. I don't know if they gonna take you out, or just send you to jail, but one way or another, you got to go. Did y'all see? They was in the comment section saying that the guy that played Nathan is supposed to be coming back, but they don't know if he's playing Nathan or somebody else. Now, I don't know how true it is. That's just what I read in the comment when I seen the preview for tomorrow's episode. I don't know how true it is, but we shall see. And they think that he's going to be the one in charge of the whole Brit situation. I was like, if he playing a different part, I can see it. Now, regular Nate, I don't exactly remember everything about him, but I don't think he would have been doing no stuff like that. But then again, y'all know how they be. So we'll see. We would have never assumed Drew would be doing the stuff he doing either. But what else? Let's see. Maxie wants to meet with 88 Turner. Not 88 Turner. She wants to meet with the DA. Curtis wants to go in with Stella. That's when Isaiah stops him or whatever, and he's like, you can't do that. Or basically, she said she wanted to handle it and all this other stuff. Basically, he could make the situation worse. Martin ends up coming, and he ends up going in there. They told him he's a person. He went in there saying he representing her. She can't be in there without her lawyer or whatever. And they told him he can't do it specifically because it's about his case or whatever. He a person of interest too. And Stella looked shocked, and I was like, I don't know if she playing along or what, but I was like, did she know? Did she do it? Look, because I thought she did it too. But I would like it if they did a storyline where she actually didn't do it, and they would just, point the direction at Drew. But we shall see. We should definitely see. Let's see. Marco ends up talking to Sylvia about Lucy. He thinks that she's into him. I think I said the part already where he was asking why he's so concerned about deception and stuff, because he has plenty of companies that he run or he's involved in. And I already said how I think he either mess with the product, got money coming through there, or something he's doing that he shouldn't be doing with those products. What else? Let me see. Drew ends up stopping by telling Sylvia, he may not have solved this Sonny situation, but he has strengthened his position and told what he did, told about Michael, and just kept mentioning Michael and sending him to jail and wanting him to get locked up. And they was basically like, how's that going to help his case or whatever? He was like, but the focus needs to be, sending Michael to jail so Willow could get her kids back, because everybody blaming me and think I'm responsible and stuff like that. This man, and they told him, that's not going to help. That's not going to help at all. And he told my son, we're going to have to find another way to handle the Sonny situation, because the only way Willow gonna get her kids back is if Michael's in jail. And I said, hit him again. And when he left, Marco knew that he had his own agenda or whatever. And Sewell says he may be a liability. I said, right on, go and get rid of him. Blame Sonny for that too. Blaming him for everything else. But yeah, I said, get rid of him at this point. Then they said Curtis is supposed to be upset, so I'm assuming I'm assuming he's going to figure out that he was the one behind it or whatever. I don't know. It might be something else, but we shall see. What else? Let's see. Portia asked the authority people why they there. they end up saying that, you know, they got a call basically from a higher up, or somebody informed them that it was higher up. So I'm assuming they know that it's Drew, or they will know. What else? I already said Drew wants to be the one to give Willow her kids back. They end up doing the little home and heart segment. Lucy get on there talking about herself. I said, Lucy, please shut up. I said, she been talking about herself for a very long time. Every time they show her, she talking about herself. So Maxie ends up intervening and answering questions, as well as introducing their new product. She's got to putting it on her, and as soon as she put it on her, she fell out. She fell out, and I was like, what he did to that product? Because he said he was interested in seeing, you know, the whole segment on TV. He ain't said that. He was interested in seeing the segment or whatever, especially when she mentioned Maxie. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, because for, I ain't gonna say weeks, but a while now, he been hinting at the whole Maxie situation, because they been studying saying she the only one that wants to go to the authorities. So I was assuming he was gonna talk to her and convince her to do the right thing or something like that. But now I'm like, okay, is he trying to do something to Maxie and make it seem like Sonny did it because he found out she was trying to snitch on him, or what? Like, I'm confused about what the plan is here. And what else did they show? I think the last two things that they showed, Jocelyn was in the shower and she was thinking about shooting Cyrus again, just back and forth. Vaughn knocked on the door, she didn't answer, so he was like, I'm coming in. So he ends up sitting in the shower with her, and he was just hugging her and holding her and stuff. And I said, but we ain't got time for that. People trying to take you out. Get up right now. Somebody trying to take you out. But yeah, then the last thing they showed, Britt was laying down and stuff like that. And then she got up, and that's when they showed Jason. Jason that came in the room. He's supposed to be warning her, saying she's in danger and stuff like that. I want to know how they gonna get to the point where they see, where Jason sees Jocelyn. Because I think, I skipped the part. They went got disposed. They disposed of the body. They took the dude out. Jocelyn ends up shooting the guy, and she saved Von's life. And they had to dispose of the body or whatever. And I was like, these people they bad. I said, you would think that Von wasn't trained either. They keep saying Jocelyn's inexperienced and all this, but the way he moving, he inexperienced as well. Or Jocelyn just throwing him off his game. I don't know. Either way it goes. I was like, he's supposed to do better. She still got blood on her hand and everything else. They touching stuff with their bare hands and everything. But I said, come on now. Well, yeah, that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Hey, girls, today, be safe.